My name is Whitley Dykes. I'm 40. I got 2 kids, and I own the Irritable Bao, formerly known as Dumps Like a Truck food truck. 30 minutes. So hey guys, welcome. Sorry. The story of the Irritable Bao. It's kind of a collection of how I got started. It's kind of a collection of my life experiences. I guess I studied abroad in China, and while I was over in China, I felt called to like full-time ministry. Didn't know what that meant at the time, and so when I went back to UAB for my last semester, I really prayed about what to do and where to go. And I ended up being in China for about 8 years total, doing ministry. I met my wife over there, who is Chinese and who's a fantastic cook. And when we'd celebrate the holidays, we'd always do dumplings. And the dumplings were like my love language, basically. And so I remember about when we were really considering coming back to the US, we were incredibly prayerful about what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it and where we wanted to live. And at one point we joked around about having a dumpling truck called Dumps Like a Truck. My wife and I both realized that there was a market for us to do something different and become our own boss. What does it look like for us to do something that's truly meaningful? And so my wife and I sat down at this place called Crepe Myrtle Cafe, and we dreamt up Dumps Like a Truck food truck, where we could do our own bring authentic Chinese food to those international students who were coming here to give them a taste of home. Mission-wise, so we started a nonprofit organization called Cayenne Global, also kind of a vision we had while we lived in China. Cayenne in Chinese means to open eyes, and so we really wanted to open the eyes of like the American community to what's happening in other communities, to the needs that are out there. The partnership that we have with Empowering Young Warriors Asia focuses on these kids who do live in trash dumps, who are in some of the poorest, most dangerous parts of the world. Specifically a place in Tondo, the Philippines. It's got things north of Manila, and there's some other locations around the Philippines that we focus on. And the Philippines is, man, the people are awesome. Genuinely full of love, full of joy. They want you there. It's just they have this incredible spirit about them. I think that's one of the things that I realized while I was there. A lot of us as Americans, we have the tendency to base our joy and our happiness on our circumstances, on our possessions. When we were working with those kids and those families in those incredibly impoverished areas, I just noticed the level of joy that they had. And I remember standing, you see on the wall, there's some kids who are just running around in the dumps, and it's some of the, and there's some slums built around these dumps where these kids live and scavenge and stuff. And one of the outreaches that they would do is they'd go into that, they would feed them, and then they would just sing, they would just worship. And I just remember my first experience there, like just looking at like all the trash, and these kids were just singing praises to God in the midst of their circumstances. They were not letting their joy or their identity be defined by their surroundings, but by who God says they are as image bearers. And they knew that they were loved, and they rejoiced in that. I remember just weeping. Because it was so beautiful, because there was dumps, literal dumps there, and then this beautiful song being like sung to heaven, and it was just like, that's all you could see was like the beauty, right? So it was I guess obviously kind of profound. I didn't know I was gonna cry taking this video, but that's part of what, you know, sold me on being there and the work that they're doing, because it goes way deeper than just like, yes, let's get these kids in school, yes, let's feed them and meet their practical needs. But they are having, through the hands and feet of locals that we get to, we're blessed to support, encounter God's love in a very tangible way. So.